Well, now that we figured out how to invest your time, let's find out how you should invest your money.
Alex caught up with a financial expert who had some advice to make it easy.
Each year, millions of Americans make New Year's resolutions, many of them financial, but they don't follow through with them. With the new year approaching, it's a perfect time to evaluate the way you spend and take a closer look at the way that you save. Sharon Miller joins us to demystify different ways to invest. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning.
It's really nice to have you on today. So going into 2016, what's something that new and seasoned investors should do to sort of get on the right train?
Well, the first step is to identify what your priorities are. So we all have competing priorities, whether it be planning for retirement, educational planning, paying down debt. It's important to establish what your goals are and in what order.
Right, and what are the two types of investments people can make, and really what's the main difference between them?
Well, as you're thinking about retirement planning for the new year, there are a variety of different options available. And so first, if you have an employer-sponsored plan, so a 401k, I would take advantage of that. And especially if your employer matches your contribution, it's really critical to do that. We also have available traditional IRAs as well as Roth IRAs.
Right, and of course it's this time of year where people are spending a little bit of extra money on things that they may not usually spend money on. How should people plan around their holiday spending when they still want to sort of save and invest?
Yeah, well, it's very easy to not stick to your budget during the holiday season. So that's the first step. Make sure you have a budget and that you have your, the amount you're going to allocate for holiday gifts, et cetera. I know I have children, and their list is extremely long. And if I were to buy everything on that list, I'd certainly blow my budget and not be equipped to save in 2016. What's interesting is, in our Merrill Edge study, we found that last year, half of our investors said that they would invest more in retirement this year, and only a third actually achieved that goal. Now, I'm not saying that's related to holiday spending, but it certainly could have something to do with it.
Right. I mean, people definitely tend to sort of lose sight of what they're doing a little bit this time of year with advertising and wanting to get the best presents for people. It's easy to understand. But at the end of the year, the new year comes along at the end of December, but how should people go through with planning it, and why is it the best time for them to do it, is the new year?
Well, I mean, it's a great time to reflect on what we've accomplished in the previous year and what we're going to do differently or better in the new year. So I would advise, too, that you don't just stop there. So it's a great time to set and establish your goals, but you need to monitor those along the way so that you're not one of the one-third that didn't meet their goals in 2015. We want to make sure that we're monitoring, that we're continuing to invest, and that we're achieving our goals. And if you're not able to do that individually, find an advisor. Find someone that can hold you accountable to what you set out to do so that you can achieve whatever lifestyle you want to achieve in retirement.
Great point. It always helps to have a partner, and I think Merrill Edge is definitely a big step towards that. Now, what are some other trends that you've seen in terms of investors and how people are saving their money?
Well, we talked about that 50% of our clients said that they would invest more in retirement, for their retirement, I should say, in 2016. The other piece is that of those, when we took a look at the subset of that, millennials at a rate of 80% said that they would invest more in 2016 toward their retirement. So I think that's really good news for our economy and for the millennial generation. I think they've learned from the past mistakes of their parents. They've watched different economic downturns, and they are preparing and planning ahead.
Yes, that's a very, very good point. And Sharon, it looks like it's a crazy busy day back there, but I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Now stay where you are. The Morning Blend, we'll be right back.